Hello, this is Elijah Wells. The Oscar nominations came out just yesterday, and I thankfully have the time to do it right now for you. The Best Picture I think the criticism for Best Picture is it's just not just the films are great, but there's way too many films out there. Like to count it for you, there's 10 films. Like what? Like it's like Razzie, it's just way too many films. But okay, for Best Picture, Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by Sea, or Moonlight. Yeah, my favourite film is Arrival of the year. Well, my favourite film of the year is Arrival. Could be a surprise to see how to win. La La Land. It looks like it's pretty much it looks pretty definite if it could win. And there's also heavyweights like Moonlight. It's going to be interesting who's going to win Best Picture. Best Actress: Isabella Harbert for Ellie, Ruth Negron for Loving, Natalie Portman, Jackie, Emma Stone, La La Land, Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins. And for Meryl Streep, her 20th Oscar nod, but could it be a fourth win? Who knows? I think Natalie Portman for Jackie. She could do third nomination already, but could she do a 2 and 3? Technically, her second win from 3 nominations. The first one being Closer. Her first win being Black Swan. I think all signs are pointing to Emma Stone for La La Land. I think it's pretty much good. It's bound to happen. She could win. Yeah. And there's also Isabella Harbert, who won Best Actress Drama for, at Golden Globes for the Paul Verhoeven movie Ellie. Best Actor Casey Affleck for Manchester by Sea, Andrew Garfield Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling La La Land, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, Denzel Washington for Fences. Seems like Casey Affleck is better than his brother now. Ben Affleck lived by Night and Batman v Superman and Accountant and his brother Manchester by Sea. Andrew Garfield. Now, with silence, this is my apology for Spider-Man, how Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't satisfy you. That's what I'm guessing. Ryan Gosling, La La Land. Could be possible, he could win. He could win. That's his second nomination after Harvey Nilsson. Viggo Mortensen for Mr. Fantastic. My dad's seen that film on the plane. Sure, I just need to adjust the camera a tad. Sure. Okay, sure. And there's Denzel Washington for Fences. Yeah, his third directorial film. Best Supporting Actress: Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Olivia Streep for Hidden Figures, Michelle Williams for Manchester by Sea. This looks big. I mean big. Like, Naomi Harris is definitely a front runner for Moonlight. But there's Viola Davis for Fences, you need to look out for. And run up the up and coming Michelle Williams for Manchester by Sea. Sorry, it's just annoy that. Apologies. Supporting actor Mahershala Ali for Moonlight. Pronounced that right. Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water. Lucas Hedges for Manchester by Sea. Dev Patel for Lion, Michael Sherman for Nocturnal Animals. Yeah, I think I'm putting my money on Mahershala, sorry if I mispronounced it, Ali for Moonlight. And the another upcomer, Lucas Hedges for Manchester by Sea. And Dave Lapita making his comeback after last Airbender. You know that kid? You know that guy who won Who Wants to Be Millionaire from Slumdog Millionaire? That's him. After last Airbender, I questioned where he was. Until the same year, The Man Who Knew Infinity and the redub of Studio Ghibli's Only Yesterday and Lion, he's back. His career is now back on track. And Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals, not the creepiest guy, not the creepy guy. Taylor, I think I'll call him Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, where Michael just plays a police officer who's helping Jake Gyllenhaal's character just find who beat it and raped his wife. Best Director. Denis Villeneuve, Arrival, Mel Gibson, Hacksaw Ridge, Damien Chazelle, La La Land, Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by Sea, and Barry Jenkins for Moonlight. Denis Villeneuve, Arrival. Oh, now Blade Runner 2049 looks good already. Oh my. Mel Gibson, Hacksaw Ridge. And for the first time for 10 years he directed a film after Apocalypto and the hugely controversial Passion of the Christ, which is accused for being way too violent and being anti-Semitic. But it's good to be back. Damien Chazelle, La La Land, I'm putting my money on him, or Denis Villeneuve for Arrival, but maybe that. Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by Sea, or his more recent credits he had was Gangs of New York. Then there's Benny Jenkins for Moonlight. Could go to him, but who knows, could go. Adapted screenplay, Eric Harlesey for Arrival, August Wilson, Fences, Alicia Shostkonsky and Ardula Muffler for Hidden Figures, Luke Davis, Lion, Barry Jenkins and Ivan McCarney, Moonlight. It's going to be one of the two. It's either Arrival that's going to win or Moonlight, but who knows, it could be one of the two. Original screenplay, Taylor Schreiber for Hell or High Water, Damien Chazelle, La La Land, Yorgos Lanthimos and Elvis Munster and Flippernonu, Lobster, Kenneth Lonergan, Manchester by Sea, Mike Mills, 20th Century Woman. I think Damien Chazelle could be up for La La Land, but there's this guy in me that wants to see a Lobster win. It was released last year in Britain, 2015, or 2 years ago, depending how up to date you are now. It's technically Colin Farrell goes to a creepy hotel, and if he doesn't, and he must find a lover. If not, he'll be turned into an animal. Basically, it's that. Yeah. Never get original as that. Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by Sea could be a possibility, but who knows? Animated features. Yeah, if this is not presented by Owen Susskind from Live Animated, I will question who I am now. Yeah, which I will get to in like a couple of minutes. Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zoology, Red Turtle, Zootopia. I am a bit surprised that it didn't include Finding Dory, which I actually like, but it's just my opinion really. Kubo and Two Strings. Seems like Lucia are pretty much the big studio, despite the profits not being that big. But, Moana. Although although this song How Far I'll Go and You're Welcome are really brilliant, it seems like I need to check this film out. My Life as Zuzka will come out this year in Britain. Red Turtle, I promise you that I am definitely going to see it. Since it is maybe the unofficial last movie from Studio Ghibli, unless they are pretty much making more movies, but who knows. Zootopia, I think I'm going to bet for that to win. Zootopia. Maybe that. Best Foreign Language Film. From Sweden, a man called Ulv. From Denmark, Land of Mine. From Iran, The Salesman. From Australia, Tanon. From Germany, Torna Adimana. Oh my word, I've heard of very few of them. I think as a half-assed choice I'll go with Tony Edermann from Germany. Now for best documentary feature. You may watch them, I don't know, but you're a judge. Best documentary, Fire at Sea, I'm Not Your N-Word, Life Animated, OJ Made in America, 13th. Fire at Sea is technically from Mark Kermode. It's about how a small Italian island had to deal with the migrant crisis that's happening recently, and it also follows a boy who has a very lazy eye and that he has to use his eye to use better, and had to patch up his good eye. And I'm not your N-word, which is false African American history throughout America, throughout some activists like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. And Life Animated, if you remember just a minute ago when I said if Owen Saskheim doesn't present Best Animated Feature, I'll question my own life. It's technically a documentary about him. He's an autistic autistic person who pretty much spends most of his life isolated in that until he finds animated movies and pretty much built his life around it. I saw a trailer of it. I was like, oh, that's probably one of the most very effective topics and documentaries that came out in recent times. OJ Made in America, the 8-hour documentary that could go, but maybe. And 13th, which is another documentary of how, I shouldn't say another, but apologies for the mispronunciation. It's technically how African Americans are often discriminated against and pretty much criminalized. It's technically that it's from the director who did Selma. It could be a very interesting movie, but who knows. For my pick, it could be Fire at Sea or Life Animated. Just check the plots out. They're brilliant. For Best Original Song, Audition, La La Land, City of Stars, La La Land, How Far Will I Go, Moana, Can't Stop the Feeling, Trolls, The Empty Chair, Jim, the James Foley Story. When it comes to 2 La La Land songs, I am a bit surprised there's songs like Just Like Fire from Alice Through Looking Glass, and that did get nominated, but it kind of surprised me a bit. And of course there's How Far Will I Go, which is a very fun, happy go beat song, just like Can't Stop Feeling by Trolls. And the opposite side, Empty Chair by Jim, the James Foley song, but James Foley Story, which is done by Sting, which is a very harrowing song, which James Foley Story follows a photographer and journalist, James Foley, before and when he was captured and beheaded by ISIS. Yeah, it was made more harrowing when it was a song that was performed at a Barricade reopening a year after the Paris attacks. I think it's either the 2 La La Land songs or Empty Chair by Jim, the James Foley Story. Best Original Score, Jackie by Michael Levy, La La Land by Jamie Hurretz, Lion by Destin O'Hara and Horisky, Moonlight by Nicholas Burrett, and Passengers by Thomas Newman. And surprisingly, only one composer I actually know of. And the one thing that really surprised me, that Nocturnal Animals was not nominated for Best Score. Like, the opening credits scene where it's elderly nude ladies doing chili dances in slow motion, the score was breathtaking. I mean, the level of Joe Hoezzi's level breathtaking, but I'm just surprised. I could go for La La Land, but the one thing that really surprised me is Passengers. It gets nominated again, but Passengers. Yeah, it got some mixed reviews, Passengers, if I can look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, a lot of people say it was creepy, boring and that, but I kind of defended the film. Like, yeah, the visuals were great, the acting was emotional, but I felt like the story was kind of lacking in direction. If I correct you, it got 31% from Rotten Tomatoes. You got it, 31%. 2 nominations. Okay. It kind of surprised me, Tad, but you're the judge. Best Cinematography, Arrival, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight. Oh, sorry. Silence, just belched a tad. Yeah, Arrival looks like a hot winner since Denis Villeneuve did a great job on Sicario, especially the motorway scene, which was probably the most intense motorway scene I've probably seen ever. and the cinematography work in Blade Runner 2049 or 2049, which I should call it now to avoid annoying you, looks great, especially when Ryan Gosling is in this post-apocalyptic city lookalike. La La Land, it looks, yep, it could be, especially the motor racing, which I really like. Lion, Moonlight, and Silence, which is by Martin Scorsese. He's usually good at the cinematography area, which his wins in cinematography are Aviator and Hugo. I could go to either Arrival or La La Land. Best costume design: Allied, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Voice, Foster Jenkins, Jackie, La La Land. Tough one. I could go to Harry Potter spin-off, Fantastic Beasts, but my heart says Florence Jenkins. But my mind says Jackie, but I think La La Land to make competition. Now, best makeup and hairstyling. A Man Called Olof, Star Trek Beyond, Suicide Squad. Yes, you've heard it. You can rejoice now. Suicide Squad is nominated, just to let you know. Yeah, Yep, Suicide Squad, especially with the crocodile character who has apparently spent around 5 hours on a makeup chair with all these makeups, including Jared Leto, who also did Joker. His makeup work is incredible. Star Trek Beyond. It's Idris Elba technically being a monstrous creature. I thought it was kind of like motion capture when I first looked at the trailer, but it kind of looked very realistic and less CG in it. A Man of Olof. It's kind of the same logic of a mid-age actor plays an elderly character. I could go. I'm thinking my prediction is Star Trek Beyond. Best live action short: Memories in Taria, Le Event, Le Typhoon, Silent Night, Sing, Time Code. Sound editing: Arrival, Deepwater Horizon, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, Sully. I think probably Deepwater Horizon. I tried to see this movie when it came out in America, but I didn't because I was kind of preparing to go to America. And Arrival could be. Sully especially, it was out surprisingly months before it came out in the UK. Have you ever noticed that? And La La Land or Hacksaw Ridge. I think I'd go for Arrival. Sound mixing: Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Wait, Michael Bay has a movie that got nominated for an Oscar for the first time in the world. Whoa! That felt like an eternity! Just kidding. Ignore. Well, back in 2011, Transformers Dark to the Moon was nominated for 3 awards for sound mixing, editing, and visual effects, but didn't win, but lost all of them to Hugo. Yeah, it's just I was mocking the fact that I'm one of these people that just didn't appreciate Michael Bay, especially with Age of Extinction, which I describe as tedious, boring, and just pretty much a waste of my 3 hours of my life. Yeah, I think it's probably the biggest surprise, 13 hours in sound mixing. Of course, there's Rogue One, Star Wars Story, which I kind honestly thought could have more nominations, but it's just me. La La Land could be. Hacksaw Ridge, okay, maybe. And Arrival, could be. Documentary short, 4.1 miles, Extremulous, Joe's Violin, What's Up in My Homeland, White Helmets. Now for best production design: Arrival, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Hail Caesar, La La Land, and Passengers. Arrival could be because of the giant ship that pretty much lands on Earth. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, building around the 1920s New York with the wizardry magic. Hail Caesar, during the Golden Age, during the fear of communism. La La Land, blending the old with the new, with the modern day, with the 950 cinema. Passengers. Seems like things can take flight with the old and the modern. Yeah, again, Passengers really surprised me when the nominations came out, since quite a lot of people call it like being creepy, boring, and understuffed and underwhelming. Well, I kind of defended it, but who cares? La La Land could be. Hail Caesar, that could be. Fantastic Beasts, maybe. Rival, okay. Now for best visual effects. Apologies. Deepwater Horizon, Doctor Strange, Jungle Book, Kubo and the Two Strings, Rogue One Star Wars story. Yep, Peter Berg has done it. He's pretty much maybe making a name for himself after Patriots Day, with Deepwater Horizon being his magnum opus. Doctor Strange, maybe, could be, especially seeing where he trips on balls on LSD. Jungle Book, yeah, it could be. Kubo and the Two Strings. I think it's the first time since the early 90s where Nightmare Before Christmas was nominated for visual effects. I think it lost to Jurassic Park. It just correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it could be a game changer if it wins. Rogue One Star Wars story. I think I could go for probably Rogue One Star Wars story. Animated short. Blind Velinin, Borrowed Time, Pear, Cider and Cigarettes, Pearl, Pippa. Best editing. Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, and La La Land, Moonlight. I think it could either go to Moonlight, La La Land or Arrival. If I have to choose at gunpoint, I could either go for Moonlight or Arrival. And there you have it, my predictions for the Oscars. Tell me what's your biggest surprise and what you like, oh, why didn't that get nominated? Like, wait, did that get nominated? Tell me below in comments and I'll tell you why. Bye!